Welcome to the party, pal. Your for the neighborhood Master Chaos back with you once again. I hope you're well. Sending lots of love your way. I hope this particular moment in time where you and I are together talking about movies is a very relaxing, rewarding, and enjoyable experience for both of us. Today, we are beginning part 6. We are finally at the middle portion of our 12-part series in All the Haunts Be Ours box set from Severin Films. Oh my god, can you believe it? We still have 6 more episodes to go. Well, I should say I still have 6 more episodes to go. Whether you watch it or not is up to you, and I hope you will. Today we're going down under with 2 very similar movies that are definitely folk horror and definitely have 0 shrimps on the Barbie.
Back from the dead.
What I'm loving the best about this box set is that it's essentially a crash course in world horror cinema. We're looking at movies from all over the globe. Australia, Germany, Poland, Russia. This is amazing. This stuff is amazing. And it's stuff that isn't readily available anywhere else. Here you have a giant compendium of creepy folkloric films from all over the world. That is a gift to cinephiles, whether you like the movies or not. They're definitely worth the ride. We've got 2 films here, 2 from Australia, 2 films that to me are almost identical. One sucks, one is really good, but not great. I guess the best place to start is at the beginning. We'll start with the one I like the least, the one that sort of leads the pack here in the packaging, and that is Australia's The Dreaming. I had real difficulty getting into this one. I know it's called The Dreaming, but there was so many goddamn dream sequences in this movie that I wasn't sure what was real and what wasn't. If that was the point, then mission accomplished. But even at the end, sitting here with you discussing it, I'm hard-pressed to be able to give you a coherent plot synopsis for this movie, because honestly, it all remains an enigma to me. Now, I'm not talking David Lynch craziness here, but this is the kind of movie where it's just someone having crazy dreams. And you're not really sure who the bad guy is. You're not really sure what the outside influence is. There's a lot of sort of mysterious obscureness going on, and none of it really makes sense or it clicks. Is it ghost whalers that are haunting people? I think that's what it's about, but 100% not sure. On the surface, it's about a doctor reconnecting with her estranged father, who's a professor at a college, and he's supervising a dig of Aboriginal artifacts. Now, they somehow become haunted by ghosts of medieval whalers who killed and raped an entire Aboriginal tribe. And for some reason, this father and daughter team are being targeted. This isn't even a slow burn horror movie. This is a no burn horror movie because it develops in a way where it becomes almost inscrutable when the viewer approaches it to try to decipher its meanings. The characters here are as confused as the audience, so that helps with relatability, but ultimately, the movie is so obtuse that one doesn't know what to think. And in my opinion, that's not how you make a good movie, much less a satisfying one. Finally, at some point in the movie, the doctor's father gets possessed by a whale spirit or the spirit of a whaler or something. It's very unclear, but at least we get a little horror movie action going on for the finale. But even the characters don't even know why that's happening, and that's not great. I'm going to be 100% real with you like I always am, whether you agree with me or not, that's coolio. But this movie made no fucking sense. And honestly, I don't think they cared whether they made sense or not, or whether you knew what was happening or not. Which is not satisfying filmmaking in my opinion. 1 star. 1 star for The Dreaming. That's really all I have to say about it. It makes no sense. It's honestly just dream sequence after dream sequence after dream sequence. What the fuck is going on? The characters are confused, we're confused. And we don't even get a really satisfying, oh, okay, I get, I mean, you can days after piece together, well, I guess that was that and that and that, but fuck it. No, I don't need that. Sorry, I'm good. The Dreaming, I never want to think about you again. 1 star wasn't for me. Luckily, I have better things to say about the second film on here, but first, let's talk about the special features You get a commentary track with the director Mario Andriacchio, moderated by historian Jarrett Gahn. And honestly, it's only worth listening to for the accents, because man, I love me some Australian accents. Next up, and best of, Kadaicha. What a name. I love saying that. Kadaicha. Say it with me at home. 1, 2, 3. Kadaicha. See that? I felt that. I felt that energy. Even though you didn't say it out loud, which I know most of you did. Some of you did. Those who didn't, I heard it in your heads. Anyway, I'm going off track here. Kadaicha. What the fuck is a Kadaicha? Well, Kadaicha is a Aboriginal medicine man or magician kind of tribal leader guy. That's what a Kadaicha is. The movie is referencing the Kadaicha, but also a Kadaicha stone, which is a rock. I don't know if this is real or not. According to the movie, it's real. It's a stone that the Kadaicha gives people who are marked for death. That's bad news for our heroes here in this Australian Nightmare on Elm Street. You heard me right. Kadaicha is Australian Nightmare on Elm Street. Before I get into the plot and any other details, I do want to just point something out. Kadaicha is presented here, I don't know all the specs honestly, but just from my view, is presented here in standard definition. Almost straight from a VHS, I would say. So don't expect a nicely restored Blu-ray version of it. It looks pretty rough. Really dark and kind of, blurry. I mean, obviously it's visible, but like the night stuff is really dark. And even the day stuff is pretty dark. So don't go in expecting a really nicely restored version of this movie. Not that you've ever heard of it. I don't know. Maybe it's well known in Australia. I don't know it. I've never even heard the name before. But if you have ever seen it before, it probably still looks the same from the last time you've seen it. So knowing that, let's talk about the plot. Kadaicha runs about 90 minutes, and this one begins almost exactly like The Dreaming, with a woman having dreams about Aboriginal tribes. Luckily, this one improves plot-wise. But, like I said, it's almost exactly Nightmare on Elm Street. We find out that the Kadaicha is a tribe's medicine man, an Aboriginal medicine man to be exact, and one of the characters wakes up from the opening dream with a Kadaicha stone on her bedside table. What does this mean? This means she's marked for death for some reason. Now, yes, just like The Dreaming, there's a lot that's unexplained here, and it definitely works towards the movie's detriment, because there's a lot of stuff that you kind of have to... I just throw your hands up and go, fine, okay, sure. But, if you have trouble with that, you're going to have trouble with this movie. But not as much as you would with The Dreaming. But if you kind of accept it for what it is, you'll pick it up immediately once you start watching. It's like, oh, this is Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street meets Day of the Animals. If you can accept that, you're good. Fine, magic stones just appear, and certain kids are targeted for some reason. Fine. When the girl is mysteriously torn to pieces by a wild animal, her friend Gail, who becomes our main character, begins to investigate, and she discovers that her neighborhood, in which she and her deceased friend lived, is under an Aboriginal curse. As a matter of fact, the whole fucking place is an Aboriginal Indian burial ground. Okay, so it's a little bit like Poltergeist as well, but without all the special effects. You do have the burial ground plot. Soon, people are dropping off left and right in this mishmash of Day of the Animals meets Nightmare on Elm Street. The Kadaicha ghost, or whatever the hell he is, decides to take the form of various animals, and that's how he goes about slashing and killing the teens that somehow piss him off. It's very unclear why the Kadaicha guy is targeting young kids, but he is. And so we get the Nightmare on Elm Street sort of flavor here, without much of the explanation. But despite its derivative nature, this is an entertaining, by-the-numbers, supernatural slasher with an Australian folklore bent, which honestly made it very unique. Kadaicha is good. It's not amazing, but it's a solid little movie. It is essentially a slasher, and I do enjoy my slashers, and I think you'll like it. I mean, I don't think it's going to be your favorite fucking movie of all time, but you have a good time with it. It's definitely way better than The Dreaming, way more satisfying, and told, I think, in a more palatable way. I could nitpick the fact that the actors look a little too old to be playing high school students, but that's par for the course. So, what am I going to give Kadaicha? I'm giving it 3 stars. I liked it. I think it's a good movie. I don't think I'll ever rewatch it. It is a shame that it's in standard definition here because it just doesn't look great. I think if it was cleaned up a little bit, it could potentially be a pretty fantastic looking movie. But it is what it is. We have it here. We get a chance to watch it. And like I said at the top of this video, what I love the most is being introduced to so much world cinema that I'd never heard of. World horror cinema, to be exact. And I love it. I love that. I love going on this journey with you, and I love taking you with me. I hope you're having a good time with these journeys. And we're not even done. We're fucking in the middle. Anyway, 3 stars for Kadaicha. Let's talk about special features. Here we get a commentary by the director, James Bogle, moderated by journalist Michael Helms. You get an audio interview with Zoe Caritas as she plays Gail. This runs about 13 minutes. You get another audio interview with the composer, Peter Westheimer. This runs 17 minutes. Then you get a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the movie, and it looks like they had a ton of fun making this, which is always nice to see. It's always hard enough to make a movie. To have it be a painful experience, too, is just the worst. And this behind-the-scenes footage runs about 7 minutes. That'll do. Short and sweet, baby Pete. That is disc 6. We have journeyed to the land down under. I believe the next one is Australian films as well. I'm pretty sure. Disc 7, part 7, will feature 2 more Aussie films dealing with folk horror. And I've heard both of them are fucking good. So I'm excited for the next episode. This one, unfortunately, kind of a rough introduction to the land down under when it comes to folk horror. Anyway, my friends, let's call it a day. Oh man, what a fun time I've had with you. I hope you've had a wonderful time with me. Let's do something. If you're new here, please do me a favor and subscribe. That means you and I get to hang out again. It costs you nothing because subscribing is free. And then you are aware whenever I'm here, you can be here too. And you're always invited to the party. Those who've been subscribed for a while know this is the place to be, baby P. Okay, let's call it a day. I love you guys very much. Take care of yourselves. Let me know what you guys thought of Disc 6. If you've seen those, did you like them? Did you hate them? I'm curious. Always two-way conversation here. I love hearing your thoughts. Even if we differ, that's fine. That's movies. I love it. Leave me a thumbs up on your way out the door. I'll see you when I see you. Signing out for now.